What if I told you that dating selfishly is the key to getting exactly what you want in love? For so long, women have been selfless in their pursuit of love, but your dating experience should focus both on your mental and emotional well being. Welcome to Heal the New Sex, where we discuss all things healing, self love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia. I am a licensed therapist and coach, and this is part two of why every woman should date selfishly. If you missed part one, I'm going to be sure to tag it above so that you can watch that video as well. Again, I got some notes because I want to give you guys all of the information. So this is going to be controversial, okay? And also it's going to feel counterintuitive. As women, we have definitely been taught to overgive as relates to dating, as relates to relationships. And these two videos seek to address that. I really want you to change your mindset as it relates to dating, as it relates to partnership. And I want you to be intentional about any man that you're investing emotional labor or physical labor. Okay, so let's dive right in. So I want to first start off by talking about the misconceptions of dating selfishly. I don't know if you saw the post, but there was a man who basically said, if my fiance had engaged in this BS, she would be unengaged. He said women should go to the gym, know how to cook, also know how to be quiet sometimes. I think he said know how to be quiet or something like that. And long story short, that's how some men see women. If you date selfishly, you'll be able to easily weed out that man so that you can focus on a man that's emotionally intelligent and healthy. Let me address the misconceptions of dating selfishly. Dating selfishly means you're choosing yourself and prioritizing and maintaining your standards. It's not about being manipulative, inconsiderate, or lacking empathy, okay? But it is about putting yourself first. When you're dating, let's say in the first 90 days, many of us have been taught that we need to just be performing, and I'm going to talk about that later in order to secure a relationship. You have to know your worth and your value as relates to dating. You have to know what it is that you bring to a healthy relationship, okay? So dating selfishly has to do with, listen, I know my worth, I know my value, and not in a superficial way. But I know who I am. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses, or opportunities for growth, right? I know that. But I'm not going to come to a relationship as if I'm less than. Just because I was created a woman doesn't mean that I was less than. Let me plug this in real quick. Society will have you thinking that because of the mistakes that you made, that you should accept less. But that's farther from the truth. So whether you are been divorced multiple times, or maybe you've never been married, or maybe you've had multiple children with multiple men, you still deserve a healthy relationship with an emotionally intelligent man who's going to respect you, desire you, and care for you, okay? Society wants women to there's really an attack on womanhood. If I can be honest, there's really an attack on women. They want us, like that man said, to know how to be quiet, look good for me, cook a good meal, and then know when to be quiet. Okay, but you are worth more than that. You are more than that. All right. But the misconceptions are that it's an attempt to be manipulative, and it's not. It's about leveling the dating playing field. Okay. But everyone who comes to dating should have good intentions. We know that's not true. If you're a woman, you probably have horror stories from here to Timbuktu. But this is about leveling the playing field. This is about you getting to know this man, but also being sure that this man can meet your needs, your wants, and your desires. Okay? Because in a relationship, you are going to have needs, wants, and desires, and it's for him to fulfill it, and vice versa. So those are the misconceptions as relates to dating selfishly. In society, right? As women, we are raised to be nurturers. And let me say this. I don't believe in this whole women being masculine. I don't believe in that, okay? If I see a woman who the society is calling her masculine, I don't think she's masculine. What I know she's doing is she's engaging in self-preservation. Okay. So I don't believe in a woman being masculine. What I know is that woman has been hurt. She has been injured. And because of that, she's showing up a different way. Every woman on the inside of her has a nurturing spirit. Because the first thing that many girls are given, even as babies, is a baby doll. Women are praised for their beauty, and they are praised also for how they take care of other people. They are not praised for who they are. Dating selfishly has you showing up as who you are, not your beauty, because you good, girl, but and not also what you do. Okay? Your dating selfishly is not, I'm showing up and I'm going to jump through hoops to show him and perform for this relationship. You are looking for a man and only accepting a man in your life that likes you for who you are. Period. It's not about performance. It's about two people getting together who genuinely like each other. The foundation is a friendship, and from there, they move into a romantic relationship, okay? So, first, now this one is going to be, don't crucify me in the comments. But dating selfishly is about self-preservation. This is especially for my women that are people pleasers. Or you got a little, what it says, sugar and spice. You got a little bit of, you got extra sugar, sweetie. I got more spice than I got sugar, okay? Right? But this is about engaging in self-preservation. You're not over giving. Okay? Because if you overgive in your dating, you're going to be self-sacrificing in your relationship and in your marriage. You're not overgiving. Have you ever been in a relationship and felt depleted? Relationships should be invigorating. They should be energizing. But in this relationship, in the previous relationship, you were just giving. And maybe you felt like you were the only person giving to the relationship. No, when you date selfishly, you determine what you're going to give and what you're not going to give. And you have boundaries in place. You are not overgiving. You're not nurturing. I'm going to come back to that. You're not offering peace. You're collecting data. Now let's talk about what nurturing is. Nurturing has to do with care and support for someone or something so that it can grow or develop. He should be demonstrating to you that he is already achieving his goals. I've seen a lot of women pour their miracle grow into the wrong pot. I'm just going to put it like that. That man goes on, grows, and what does he do? Moves on. And another woman reaps the benefits of that. You need to pull back some. You need to be watching how is he navigating life before you go in there and make a commitment to support anything that he's doing. Now, I'm not saying being nasty. I'm not saying make an announcement. You don't have to be, oh, you want me to what? Oh, I'm not doing that. That's really neat that you're doing that. I would love to hear more. Because what happens is that many women, you start dating, and I'm going to say this, it could be in the first conversation. Girl, he said that he wants to start a tax business, so I'm online, I'm figuring it out, I'm talking. Stop it. Watch him grow. Oh, you're doing that? Oh, what steps are you taking? Okay, you can encourage him, but you need to protect your pour. You need to protect everything that you're giving. You need to protect your energy. Okay? Now, I'm not saying when you get in a relationship, that's different. But when you're dating and get to know him, you need to ensure that you aren't giving of yourself. Don't give anything that you can't afford to lose. Okay? Now, I said this, you're not offering peace. Let's be very clear. Men who... Slow down, because this annoys me. Any man who's in the first couple of conversations talking to you about peace is prepared to bring you hell. And he wants you to accept it. Okay? You need to be leery of a man to go, yeah, I just want some peace. I just. Baby, you better get with Jesus, because it's peace that passes all understanding. That's what the book say. That's where you need to get that peace from, okay? Not over here. That is a manipulation tactic. That man is already telling you, I have chaos. If he wants you to bring peace, he's chaotic. And you are a, what is the word I want to use? A multiplier. So if he brings chaos, you're going to multiply it. You're going to amplify it. So you need to be mindful of a man who's talking about some, oh, I need a woman who's going to bring peace. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Okay? So I'm not saying don't be kind. I'm not saying be empathetic. But what I am saying is don't overgive in the beginning. Okay? It's like a bank. A bank doesn't let a person come in and just take $100,000. No, you have to establish a relationship with that bank. You have to have good credit. You have to demonstrate that you know how to pay back smaller loans before the bank gives you more. You should be the very same way. I'm not just coming and giving you everything I got. I'm not Anita Baker. Anita Baker said, giving you the best that I got. Not over here. No. Dating selfishly, next point. Dating selfishly sets the tone for the experience. Right? Now, I had an example in the comments from my last video from the dating selfishly, the first video. And this person, I believe it's a man, he said, I only Netflix and chill. I don't go on dates. And I said, are you looking for a relationship? He said, I date women who like me more, so I don't have to date. That's what he said. But when you're dating selfishly, you set the tone because you're saying, no, I don't Netflix and chill. I don't do that. This is how I want you to treat me. This is how I desire you to treat me. And this is all that I'm going to accept. You're establishing the mood for the experience because you a vibe. It's an experience and you should enjoy it. If you're not, the two of you should be getting together and the first couple of days should be about having fun and enjoying each other and getting to know each other. I'm going to tell you something. I don't mind going on a coffee date. I went on a coffee date with a lovely man and it was a great experience. We were able to sit down, joke, laugh, play. I was able to ask him questions. I was able to pick his brain. I loved it. Then we went out and we did something else and it was fun. But you set the tone for your dating experience. While you're getting data, you set the tone. This also helps you, right? As it relates to the pace in which the relationship moves. I believe a healthy man moves with pace and patience. But have you ever dated a man and he comes in really strong? Maybe he's love bombing you and you have to like, whoa. You set the tone. It's not a go with the flow. We is not a river or a boat. It's not a go with the flow type of situation. You set the tone, okay? I remember if you were ever in music, if you ever played an instrument, that's what I'm saying, was in band or whatever, we would have what was called the crescendo, okay? We would start, it would start, I don't know how to use the full term, but it wouldn't be loud, but it would become more intense. Okay, if you're a music major or an artist, put it down below so the other people can understand what I'm saying. That's how your relationship should be. It should increase, okay? It shouldn't start off high. When a relationship starts off high and you allow it to, it's going to crash and burn. It should be a crescendo. The sound should increase. You should move from being friends to intimate partners, but you set the tone. Let's be clear. There's some men that will try you on the first night, but you set the tone. Maybe I gave you the wrong impression of me, but I'm not a woman that engages in sex on the first night with a stranger. I don't do that. Oh, I don't do that. You set the tone. Okay. You are determining if you like him enough to move in a more intimate way with him. And by intimate, I just don't mean sex. I mean vulnerability, emotional vulnerability. Sex is the last thing. But when you're setting the tone, you are being strategic about, is this a man who I can feel physically safe with, emotionally safe with, mentally safe with? Is this the type of man that I can feel that way with? Is he demonstrating to me safety? Or is this a man where I need to go the other way because he's not demonstrating care, respect, kindness, empathy? He doesn't respect my boundaries. He doesn't do any of that. Okay. Now, dating selfishly, I think this is number 3. Dating selfishly protects your value, virtue, and worth. Now, let me talk about why this is important. This weeds out men that just want to have sex. When you're dating selfishly, sex is not on the table. It's not on the table. That man who said, "Oh, I date women who like me more than I like them," he dating selfishly in a different way. And there's many men out there that are intentional and dating selfishly. And you should too. Now, this is not well, if it's good for them, it's good for me. It's not that type of game. What this is about you ensuring that your needs, wants, and desires are going to be taken care of when you're in a relationship with him. Many of us were raised, and I think I said this in the last video, we were raised that we were raised like we're just to satisfy him. That if he's satisfied, then I'm satisfied. But that's not how it is. You have specific needs and wants. You are wired a certain way. There are things that you need. And so when you date selfishly, you are saying, listen, okay, I see what you need. This is what I need. Are we going to be able to work together in order to satisfy each other? I'm not just going to be satisfying you. I'm not just going to be overgiving and then I'm left depleted. Okay? This is you demonstrating your moral standards. Virtue has to do with your moral standards. So you're dating with your standards. You're leading with that. You are beautiful, okay? He's interested in your beauty. He wants to have sex with you. But it's up to you. What? First, you set the tone. You set the tone. And then this ensures that you protect your virtue, your values, and your worth, and not in a superficial way. There's many women who say, I know my worth, I know my worth. But men don't respect that because there are many women who say they know their worth, and then 2 seconds later, they're engaging in something that's the opposite of what they said they were worth. Don't give yourself away on a discount. And like I told you before, society has a way of trying to get you to sell yourself at a discount because of whatever experience you had in the past. Don't do that. Keep your standards, whatever they are. Now, there's a difference between standards and preferences, okay? But your standards are about how you want to be treated. Your worth and your value are important. You teach him how to treat you. Like I told you last week, I don't go to Applebee's. I don't like eating there. I'm not going there. That has to do with my value. If I don't go to Applebee's, I don't treat myself to Applebee's, I'm not going to accept it from you. And let me say this too. There's a lot of men out there, and because I'm talking to majority women, there's a lot of men out there that will want to, and this leads me to my next one, they're going to attempt to test you to see if you really like them for who they are or not. Fail the test. If you're here, you still here, put in the comments, fail the test. That man is unhealed, and that man needs to be sitting on a couch somewhere doing his work. You are not created to be going through these different tests. So I remember Ocho Cinco saying that his date with his previous fiance, they drove up to McDonald's. Oh, I ain't gonna spend no money. I'm not gonna do this. Cool. But in a way, we have to understand that's demeaning because you're coming into a new thing and you are engaging in a behavior because of how someone else treated you. No. Treat me with kindness, treat me with respect. Respect my worth, respect my value. And if you date selfishly, you're going to protect your worth and your value and your time. All right. 5th one, dating selfishly prevents performance. Now, again, I grew up a church girl, taught how to cook, how to clean, how to do all the things. Oh, like the man said, and be quiet, be submissive, taught all of that. But this is the thing. If you engage in that, and many of us have, where did it lead you? Nowhere. Nowhere. What did it get you? Nothing. Because submission and all of that, that is for your husband. That's not for a man you're dating. You don't need to jump through hoops for a man to like you. When you are, many women are raised to serve men and also to compete with other women. So you're doing all of this to get him to say, I approve you. Boop, you're going to be my girlfriend. And then guess what you have to do? You have to keep it up because it's an act. You're acting. You're not being your authentic self. It's so important that you don't perform, that you are your authentic self. Because in the relationship, it's the real you and the real him. It's his flaws, your shortcomings, his shortcomings, your strengths, his strengths, your quirks, his quirks. But if you start dating and you want to perform, that's how you ever be in a relationship and you be like, dang, this is not the person who I knew. Who is this? Because both people, and it makes sense, right? You're going to bring your best self to the dating experience. That's fine. But if that's not true, who you truly are, you go set yourself up for failure. Okay? But when you date selfishly, you date with your authentic self. You know you don't have to perform. I don't have to perform in order to be in this relationship, in order to date this man. I'm going to be my true and authentic self. I'm not going to perform. I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning. I'm not giving up any emotional labor or physical labor in order to be in a relationship with him. He's going to value me for me. And this is the thing. The same way you have girlfriends and you value them, they are not doing anything for you, but being your friend. It should be the very same way when you're getting to know him. If you feel like you have to look a certain way or do all these things in order to get his attention, in order to keep his attention, it's going to be a hard road, because there's always going to be someone younger than you, prettier than you, or whatever. You're beautiful now. Don't hear me. Don't get wrong what I'm saying. But if you have to act in order to get in a relationship, it's going to be terrible in the long run, right? This also prevents performance as it relates to how you are navigating the relationship. I remember, I think it was a couple of years ago, where Gabrielle Union brought up that she does 50-50. Most recently, she had a conversation again, and she said, that was from my trauma response. Many women are dating from their trauma and performing a certain way because they've been taught, this is what I have to do to get a man. This is what I have to do to please a man. This is what I have to do to keep a man. Stop it. Because that's your wound speaking. Whether it's you've been rejected, whether it's you've been abandoned, and so you're engaging in this performance. Some women engage in performance because they're taught this is how you keep a man, and some women engage in performance because of their trauma. But when you date selfishly, you know that you are enough, that you deserve a healthy and loving relationship. Okay? This is Heal the New Sexy. I want to hear from you down below. If there's anything that you're like, Smithy, I want you to expound more on that, I can create another video. But I really want to hear from you. And I also want to hear how you intend to implement these tips and strategies in your dating life. So I love you so much. Until we talk again.